Senator Obama heads overseas tomorrow to visit Afghanistan, Iraq, Jordan, Israel, Germany, France, and Britain. He will be accompanied by a substantial media entourage, including all three nightly anchors from NBC, ABC, and CBS, each of whom will be interviewing the senator and traveling with him, none of whom accompanied Senator McCain on his Iraq trip in March. Our fourth story on the countdown, according to Newsweek magazine, perhaps that was because the McCain campaign did not even invite them. A trifling difference that is not stopping the McCain campaign of accusing the media of favoring Senator Obama. Spokeswoman Jill Hazelbaker saying, quote, "In every campaign, time is a finite resource, so it is unproductive to spend it worrying about the way Obama is covered." That being said, it certainly hasn't escaped us that the three-network newscast will originate from stops on Obama's trip. She then went on to accuse Senator Obama of using the entire trip as a campaign rally.
This trip is a political trip for him. It's one giant photo opportunity. It is not designed to inform his worldview.
McCain himself initially refuting that claim on his bus today, then saying he will let other people judge whether Obama is on a campaign trip, before finally deciding that if Obama holds political rallies in, say, Europe, then it is a political trip. He didn't say anything today about the potholes. Obama's campaign responds, quote, "It's clear that the McCain campaign is getting nervous about being on the wrong side of the Iraq debate. First, John McCain wanted Barack Obama to travel with him to Iraq, and the campaign used the occasion to raise campaign cash. Now his campaign is calling Senator Obama's trip a campaign rally overseas. The McCain campaign should stop worrying about Barack Obama's travel plans and start focusing on addressing the pressing challenges that the Bush-McCain foreign policy has made worse," unquote. Joining me now, our own Dana Milbank, national political reporter of the Washington Post. Good evening, Dana.
Good to be traveling with you, Keith.
Thank you very much. Just to recreate that thing, we just do this little bump as if we're hitting a pothole. Does in this one, with that statement, does the Obama campaign have some sort of point here because they hit the McCain campaign have a point here about Obama and vice versa? The McCains criticized Obama for not going to Iraq, and now essentially they are criticizing him for going to Iraq. One or the other, yes?
Yes, this is a case of being hoisted by your own petard. McCain was basically daring Obama to go repeatedly, almost taunting him for having not gone to Iraq. In addition, he took the trip himself. In fact, it was just recently on another foreign trip. McCain was down, shall we say, campaigning in Mexico, and unfortunately it came that he had to roll out his jobs position while down in Mexico. So he's left in a very difficult position of criticizing Obama, who definitely seems to have turned a potential weakness to his advantage here.
Yeah, and there's another problem with this about suggesting here that the networks are unfair to McCain by originating their newscast along this trip, when apparently no suggestion to the networks or invitation was ever made to the networks to come along on the trip in March. That's something of a disconnect too, or am I making too much of the facts?
Well, it is. I'm not sure they would have come anyway, because let's remember what was going on there. It was at the height of the Democratic contest, a very gripping story here. So that's not reflecting any bias against John McCain. That was where the action was here. Now, McCain has, as far as I can remember, has really never complained about press bias before. In fact, he has frequently referred to the press as his base. So it's kind of a difficult argument for him to get out and make.
Well, but they are, if he is not making it personally, and even disagreeing with the spokesperson who does, the spokespeople are still doing it. They have disseminated the number that since June on the nightly newscast, the three major networks spent roughly 114 minutes on Obama and roughly 48 minutes on McCain. And if volume is the only metric, the criticism is fair. The question becomes to you, is volume the only metric?
No, I mean, in fact, volume isn't a metric at all. I mean, as you well know, the reporters are interested in the story and are covering where the news is. So the developments in the Obama campaign, trying to consolidate, finally getting the Hillary supporters on board, has been a very big story here. That could obviously change as things develop during the campaign, but I think the press may or may not have a bias in favor of Obama. It definitely has a bias in favor of being with the front runner at a particular moment in time. There's a perception, right or wrong, right now in the media that Obama is in a very solid position, so the network anchors believe they are heading overseas with the next president.
Also, Czechoslovakia, Sunni versus Shia, cigarettes in Iran, rape jokes. Is there a danger if the McCain campaign implies that it wants more coverage? Be careful what you wish for?
Well, sure. There's a danger both ways. I mean, you can imagine while the entire world's spotlight is on Obama, if he has some sort of a pratfall while overseas, if there's the equivalent of a Reverend Wright or a Resco pops up, there's definitely two edges to this sword.
Dana Milbank of MSNBC and The Washington Post watching the sword carefully for us. Thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Keith.